In today's General Hospital, Alexis is dumbfounded that Nina is upset with her precious gossip slinger DeWitt. She tells Nina to admit she hired DeWitt to piss her off. "Everything was fine before you got here," Alexis says. But Nina counters that there's been a rise in readers since she hired a gossip columnist. "What if I just quit?" Alexis asks. Nina shows her where the door is. She just thinks the invader would benefit from DeWitt's experience. Alexis doesn't want it turned back into a tabloid. DeWitt stays, Nina fires back. End of discussion. She marches out as Molly walks in. When Alexis asks for good news, Molly says the invader cited an unnamed source on the Heather Weber piece, and everyone at the DA's office assumes it's her. They both know that it wasn't, and she wants Alexis' help to convince them it wasn't her who broke confidentiality by telling her who the source was. Alexis can't do that and fends off Molly's attempts to scare her with her own legal knowledge. She smiles and asks if Molly would like to lock me up until I crack. Molly gives up, then as she's about to leave, sees an envelope a messenger just dropped off. It's from the Supreme Court of New York. Alexis is too nervous to open it to see how her appeal about staying disbarred went, so Molly tears it open. Over at the hotel, Carly wakes up in John's room and looks over at the bruised and bloody agent still asleep on the couch. He wakes up and admits he's sore and tired, especially with Carly waking him every couple hours to monitor a concussion. They bicker a little good-naturedly about her nursing. "Really?" Carly retorts with a smile. "You're going to argue with me this early in the morning?" A short time later, Carly's on the phone demanding where the breakfast is as John comes out of the shower, complaining the water never got too warm. Carly's about to have a fit when she's told the food was left outside the door. This hotel has definitely gone downhill. She yanks open the door just as Nina walks by to see the two of them, John just in a towel. They spar over the hotel as Nina needles her about sleeping with John. What's Sonny going to think, or Jason, and poor Drew? Forever the runner-up in the twin department, Carly snaps at Nina to spend less time worrying about her life and more time managing the hotel. Nina sweeps off and Carly brings the food in grumbling to herself. Carly apologizes for the eggs and says if she were still running the hotel, this wouldn't have flown. She loved making people feel happy and comfortable and special. Bobby's is great, but it's a restaurant, while the hotel was all of it. She loved it. John asks if she'll do it again, but Carly says it's a pipe dream now. Metro Court is someone else's. Meanwhile, Brooklyn is pacing back and forth at home, worrying about the wedding and ruining Leela's dress as Liz tries calming her down. "They won't ruin it," she says, "and if Brooklyn doesn't like it, they'll fix it. There is nothing more important than your happiness on your wedding day." Just then, the alterations are done and the dress is unveiled for Brooklyn to see, but not us. She tries it on off-screen and the two re-enter to marvel at how perfect the wedding dress is. You get to have a piece of Leela while still being who you are. Lois is so happy for Brooklyn and Chase and everyone. But when Lois comes in her own muted dress and white jacket, Brooklyn is speechless. "You hate it." "No, it's fine. It's just not really Lois' style." Lois says she didn't want to dress like she was going out clubbing and was thinking maybe just clear nails. She wants to be understated, but Brooklyn tells her to dress what makes her feel like you. A relieved Lois goes back to Sandrine, but just then Chase comes in. He commissioned a honeymoon dress, which we do see. Brooklyn loves it, but asks if the long sleeves would be too warm for Palm Beach. "We're not going to Palm Beach." He wants her to remember the trip for the rest of their life. She deserves everything. "So they're going to Florence?" "No, you're kidding." "Italy." Happy doesn't even begin to cover it and astounded Drew, meanwhile, greets Curtis as he walks into his office. Walking this soon after surgery, that's next level. Just as Curtis wonders what he's doing there, Michael walks in and Curtis admits it's nice to know it wasn't Jason who put him in the wheelchair. After some pleasantries, Curtis asks again why they're there. Drew's been doing research and the wellness and fitness space is booming. Michael read the report too. Sure, it's a good time for Aurora to diversify. It makes sense to get into an expanding market. That's where Curtis comes in, Drew says. They need someone in the fitness industry to spearhead the initiative, like Curtis. They ask what he'd do to move Aurora into the business, and he says to buy up some small gyms in the country and rebrand them into a high-end fitness club.